I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcast it like hey ya.
Good mornings, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one chief Rocket News Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning Time show. Man, it's good to see y'all. Good to be with y'all. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Just Knicks is in the building. Andios, what's good? Wise is in the building. Salute. Good morning, everybody. Good mornings, man. It's good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. Man, got another game tonight, man. I'm excited. I guess I'll get right to it. Yes, I'm frustrated that we lost to Boston. Yes. And so I mentioned it yesterday a little bit. That I'm disappointed. A little upset that we lost to Boston, and it has nothing to do with how good a team they are, and it has nothing to do with us having a bunch of people out, right? It's mainly I dislike the Boston Celtics. Just keeping it a stack. Salute to Bronx Kicks for life in the building. Corey Lee in the place to be. Yeah, I'm frustrated with the loss to Boston. I just don't like Boston. I just don't like Boston nothing. I don't like the Boston Red Sox. I don't like the Boston Celtics. I don't like the Boston Bruins. I don't like Boston. I don't like Boston Legal. I don't like Boston Baked Beans. I don't like Boston Cream Pie. Right? I don't like the Patriots. Anything Boston related is a non-starter for me off rip. And I know that sounds like Petty Pendergrass IV coming back, but so mote it be. Right? But moving on, so we have a different game tonight. I think we played the Pistons tonight. Now I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Right? I'm excited. I am excited about Boston. About Detroit. Right. I'm excited. About. Is that for me? Thank you. Oh, this thing hot. So I am excited about the rest of the schedule. I think we have back-to-backs this week. I'm excited about OG Anunoby being reevaluated this week. That's exciting to me. I'm excited about coming down the stretch of this season. What I really like more than anything, right? If I can get this thing to work. What I really like more than anything is for us to get to 42 wins. Let's get to 42 wins, right? Let's get to 42 wins. So I think that's about 9 wins away, get to 42 wins so that we can have back-to-back winning seasons first. I know we'll get there, right? I know we'll get there, but I don't want to um make it seem as if the sky is falling, because it's not. But I'd really like for us to get to 42 wins. And then potentially getting to 48 wins. And then for us to get to 42 wins would mean something to us. And those are our mile markers. Those are mile markers for us. Not because they mean anything significant, but they mean a lot in terms of narrative. And I understand that narratives don't win championships. I get that. I get it. Narratives don't win championships, right? But what I'd like to do though is in these, during the course of these seasons, have something to talk about that's positive, right? First of all, getting to 42 wins means we have back-to-back winning seasons, right? And then if we get to 48 wins, that means that, you know, we had a better season theoretically a better regular season than we had last year. Even though last year's regular season was probably less turbulent than this season. So if we win 46 games this year, which means we go 13-13 the rest of the way, something like that, then I can understand why we did go win 46 games. But we don't want to. We don't want to, right? Right? As a Knicks fan, we really, really want to be in that place. White Falcon is in the building. What's good, brethren? We miss you, bro. White Falcon, I hope all is well. My guy, White Falcon. Now we can really get the party started. White Falcon is here. We can really get the party started, man. White Falcon is here. What's good, White Falcon? So now we can really get the party started now that White Falcon is here. But to the point that I was making earlier, right? It shouldn't be about narratives, but you know, we're in a narrative-driven space. We're in a narrative-driven space where, you know, we don't necessarily want it to be all about narratives, but this is what we do, right? The mere fact that we could win more games that we won last year, having this season be a more turbulent season, it makes us think the future is brighter than what we thought it was. Because in theory or in practice or in reality, in pulling off 2 major trades in one season, being slammed by the injury bug, most teams could have easily packed it up and prepared for next year. Most teams, when they get slammed with the injury bug, like how we got slammed by the injury bugs, teams pack it up. San Antonio got slammed by the injury bug one year. They decided to tank, and they got Tim Duncan. New Orleans got slammed twice. They got slammed twice by the injury bug, and they wound up tanking and getting Anthony Davis one time and getting Zion the next time. Right. And I'm not saying, and listen, y'all, I'm not saying that the Knicks will ever tank What I'm saying is teams in our predicament have done so. Right? I know Tom Thibodeau is never going to tank ever. Right? The year we won 37 games, 2022, was that season, right? 2022 was that season where we got slammed by the injury bug. Kemba came, he was a shell of himself. Derrick Rose missed a major part of the season. Nerlens Noel played 26 games. It was Mitch missed a ton of time, and teams in that position, I could see. Yo, Mothman, hey, what's good? What's good? I'll see you. But this year, with this rash of injuries, this team is still a tough out for most elite basketball teams. And that's with us having all these injuries, being shorthanded a lot of the time. And for that reason, I'm saying if this team wins 46, 47, 48 games, it looks like the record from last year, but it's not like the record from last year. Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, I feel you. I feel you on the tanking thing. That's not what I'm saying. And I think you agree with me on it. I don't think we will ever do it. But what I'm saying is, teams in the past have had injuries and have disruptive seasons like we did, and they chose to just tank and reset and come back next year. Right? Y'all seen it. Y'all saw Portland do it with Dame, and they wound up with Scoot Henderson. Y'all saw SGA do it in Oklahoma City, and they did it with SGA a couple times in OKC, and they wound up with Chet Holmgren and somebody else. Our organization will never tank, but other organizations, they get 2 or 3 major injuries, they're packing it up. They're like, we'll see y'all next year. And for that reason, I'm saying, for that reason alone, I'm saying that I'm impressed with this season, especially if we get to 46, 47, 48 wins. The record will look similar than last year's, but what we did this year would be more impressive. Right? I'm in the mindset, I'm in the camp of if everyone returns healthy, you know what? I'm not even gonna say if everyone. Y'all mind if I say something controversial? It's listen, it's a Monday morning, I guess Monday afternoon now. So it's about Monday afternoon, there about noontime. Y'all want to hear something controversial? Y'all want to hear a controversial take from Uncle Freezy? Y'all want to hear y'all want to hear something controversial from Uncle Freezy? If I see 2 thumbs up in the chat, if I get 2 thumbs up in the chat, I'm gonna say something controversial, and I think y'all are gonna agree with me, but it hasn't been stated by anybody else. So there's 2 thumbs up from Andios. I need one more person. To put a thumbs up in the chat, and I'm gonna say, bam, there it is. Martinez in the clutch. Alawaz in the clutch. Corey Lee in the clutch. Okay. Here is my very, very controversial take, right? Kerry Cox, BX Kicks. Okay. Here's my very, very controversial take. I don't think the Knicks need Randall and Mitchell Robinson to come back to win a championship. I honestly don't think the Knicks need Randall and Mitch to come back to win a championship. Now, am I saying that if Randall and Mitch come back, we won't win? Of course not. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. Right? If OG, Randall, and Mitch come back, I'm borderline guaranteeing a championship at that point. If all three come back healthy and we stay healthy for the rest of the year, I'm borderline guaranteeing an NBA championship. Right? But what if Randall opts out and decides to have season-ending surgery, but OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson come back? I'm confident we can win a championship with that. What if Mitch doesn't come back and OG and Randall come back? I think we can win a championship with that. Now, y'all know how I love Randall. Randall's my guy, right? Right? Randall's my heartstring, right? Y'all know that. We don't have to get into that. I've been fighting this fight for 5 years with Randall, right? He chose us over other people, and he came here, and he's a 3-time All-Star. But let me tell y'all something. If you noticed the Boston game Saturday night, Jake, what's good, man? So if you watched the Boston game Saturday night, and I'm not gonna fluff everybody's head up. Cash, what's good? If you notice the game Saturday night, Boston attacked us where we were weak, right? Boston legit, when we put Precious on Tatum, they went to Brown and they just picked at it and picked at it and picked at it. And we don't have a 6'6" athlete that can guard Jaylen Brown, but we did have a 6'9" athlete that could guard Jason Tatum. Even Sims stepped out and guarded Jason Tatum. Right? What I'm saying is with OG Anunoby back, you don't get Dante DiVincenzo picked on all game. You don't get Josh Hart getting caught up on switches with Kristaps Porzingis, right? And if y'all notice, Boston ran the rub play to rub off our man and get Josh Hart guarding Porzingis, and he was getting eaten alive. But if you rub off Hartenstein onto Precious Achiuwa guarding Porzingis, now we talking. Now we talking. Boston got a lot of shots on the perimeter. They look great from the perimeter, and they're a great shooting team, right? But all of that looks different if Mitch is guarding Porzingis, Mitch and Hartenstein guarding Porzingis, OG and Precious and Hart guarding Tatum and Brown. And then that way our bench can actually be a bench. When everybody comes back healthy, Alec Burks can be in the Alec Burks role as opposed to being in a 6-man role. Yeah, man, I'm with you. Here we go with the Randall slander. Right, y'all, listen, we not slandering Randall. Randall's my guy, y'all. I hope y'all don't get this point twisted. Me and Martinez on the same page here. right? Listen, I'm not slandering Randall, and I don't want y'all to either, right? We don't want it to be that. That's not the point that I'm making. Right? That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I want to emphasize is that I don't think this team is as far away due to injury as a lot of us think. No, Martina, no, I know. I'm with you. That's why I was clarifying. Right, that's why I was clarifying. I'm not slandering Randall. Right? That's not what I'm doing, y'all. Y'all know Randall's my guy. But if we get all three back, I'm almost on the verge of guaranteeing the Knicks will win an NBA championship. I'm almost. Craig in the building. What's good, man? That game Saturday night exploited a lot of our weaknesses. Our secondary, we didn't have a dependable secondary scorer. A 6'6" athlete could do whatever he wanted against us. A 7'3" guy could knock down threes anytime he felt like it. Salute to my guy Rel. Rel, what's good, man? Rel, we got to talk some Silver Surfer, bro. We got to talk some Silver Surfer, bro. Enough is enough. Yeah, I'm tired of reading all these things. Who's gonna play Mr. Incredible and all that? I'm tired of that, bro. I'm worn down, bro. Hey, Mo, what's that song with that lady talking about? She's singing, she broken down and tired. Yeah. I'm about to sing "Rise Up" by Andre Day. If I hear one more casting video, if I watch one more MCU casting video, Rel, about, oh my God, who's gonna play Johnny Storm? Who's gonna play Sue Storm? Bro, I'm so tired of the fake Fantastic Four news, bro. Rel, you got to get me Silver Surfer. Rel, pull some strings and get me Silver Surfer, right? And World Buster Hulk. That's what I need in the MCU right now. Right? I need some Carnage. And yeah, him too. And my man Rel from We Talk Mavs, they had like a show. I was watching one of their shows. They had a show with like 10,000 views on it, man. Salute to We Talk Mavs. They was in there chopping it up, man. And so salute to my man Rel out there in the Midwest. We Talk Mavs. Rel and King Kai, salute to them. They do great work. If you're a fan of the NBA, check them out. But my thing is, if you're a Knicks fan and you're sitting through, South BK in the building. But if you're a Knicks fan and you're sitting through what feels like a moment, if you're a Knicks fan and you're sitting through what feels like a moment, don't fret. Don't fear. Watching that Boston Celtics game last or Saturday night, Boston is right where we want them to be. Right? If that Boston team Dallas ain't is Dallas is Texas Texas is the South. I've been to Dallas a million times, right? I've been to but every time I go to Dallas, Dallas looks different. I ain't gonna lie to you. Every time I go to Dallas, I'm like, damn, they still building up over here. Every time, yo, if you think they do, if you think they a lot going on in Atlanta, if you think there's a lot going on getting out of the city headed to Long Island, bro, if you think when you go to Atlanta, every time you go to Atlanta, things look different, go to Dallas, bro. Go to Dallas every 2 years. I swear, it look like a different city, or the same city but bigger. Seems like. But if you're a Knicks fan, and you saw that game Saturday night and you were disappointed, you have a right to be, right? Because you lost to one of your rivals, right? If you know, the feeling of losing to a rival is disappointing, right? May have you upset. But in terms of X's and O's and gameplay and coach versus coach, nah, no. They were completely healthy and we were not. They were completely healthy and we were not. Well, they had one guy missing. I think they had Xavier Tillman missing or somebody off the bench or whatever. Right. They legit played Luke Cornett against us, everybody. They played Al Horford against us. They played Peyton Pritchard against us. And what I'm saying is if we see that around Memorial Day, I'm predicting we're the NBA champs. Or I might predict we're the NBA champs. I may predict that we're the NBA champs. We saw exactly what they did. They ran the same basic offense they usually run. But at the same time, they ran the same basic offense they ran that they normally run. Now, with that said, they have excellent skill players in that offense. But what I'm saying is with a healthy Randall, with a healthy OG Anunoby, with a healthy Mitchell Robinson, in my mind, Boston can't beat us. Period. They can't. In my mind, that Boston team can't beat the Knicks with a rotation of Brunson, DiVincenzo, OG, Randall, Mitch or Hartenstein, the center off the bench, Mitch or Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Alec Burks, Bogey, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride. And I think I said Josh Hart too. I think our top 11 is better than most teams' top 11. And it might sound like Knicks fan bravado in late February, but no, this is me, a basketball person, looking at the two basketball teams. This is not about hoping and wishing, right? It's not about hoping and wishing. It's not about me being a fan. It's not about rah, 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 let's go Knicks. This is about a top-heavy NBA team playing a deep team 1 through 11. This is about a team that has two guys that can absolutely be top 20 NBA players versus a Knicks team that 1 through 11 may have the Knicks may have 11 top 300 players. Right? We're deep. And I think top 300 is fair. It sounds bad when you say it, right? Hey man, top 300. Yeah. There are most teams that have, when you look at the end of a lot of teams' bench, they don't have a Josh Hart or a Isaiah Hartenstein. They don't have a Precious Achua on their bench. Like Boston doesn't have a Josh Hart, a Precious Achua, a Deuce McBride, a Alec Burks, a Bogdanovich, a Jericho Sims coming off their bench. They just don't. I was watching Golden State the other day. Golden State had a dude named Quinones coming off the bench. I ain't never heard of this dude before a day in my life. I never heard of this dude a day in my life. Some dude named Quinones or whatever his name is. I ain't never heard that dude. Shout out to Golden State for finding talent, but that player is definitely a no-name. And when you're talking about teams with depth, with quality players, look at how Deuce McBride played against Boston Saturday night. Deuce McBride played Saturday night. He played Saturday night. Now I'm telling you, right? My thing is though, Boston's in a supreme place where they're talented and are healthy, right? And the Knicks are in a place where they're talented and are unhealthy and don't have kind of like time to play with each other or whatever. But I want to give Tom Thibodeau credit because Tom Thibodeau adjusted defensively, he adjusted offensively, but at the end of the day, he just didn't have the talent. He just didn't have the talent to go up against Boston, and I think both sides knew that. And give credit to Boston for going for the jugular. And late in the game, Boston was like, yo, you know what? Enough of this nonsense. We're just going to go for the jugular. We're just going to try to put y'all away. At the beginning of the game, they just wanted to see what we had. And we didn't have anything, because we're injured. We went for what we knew. We just came up short. And they blew us out, sure. They blew us out, right? They blew us out, sure. They blew us out at the end of the game, right? We just didn't have enough weaponry to hang in there with a team as good as Boston. What's up, fellas?
What's good?
Good morning. Good morning. Salute to the chat. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good, man. Yeah, man. I'm salute to Walter White. Salute to all the members of the channel. Salute. I see y'all out there, man. Salute to the members of the channel. Lee, what if this team only wins 47 games? How you feeling, bro? What if they go 14-12 the rest of the way?
I doubt that.
I'm asking you, what if it happens?
If it happens, as long as we still in a good playoff season, then I'm good. I think we still got a puncher's chance against anybody, still, regardless. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. It's great to have great, 50 wins, 55, 60 wins, that's dope. And all of that. But it's been proven, and we, as the Knicks, is proven that you get some good, decent playoff seating, and you can go out there and fight with anybody, because the playoffs is a whole totally different season. That's when the players come to play, and the fakers fall off.
Right. Cash in the building. What's good, Cash?
Hey, what's up?
What's good, Cash?
How's it going?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. What's up?
Yeah, man. Hey, Lee, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think if this team wins less than 50 games, I'm not gonna be upset, because reasonable minds would want to win 50 games, but understand with all these people out due to injury, it may not be possible. And so if it doesn't happen, that's okay in my mind. Doesn't mean the season is a failure. It just means that we got hit by the injury bug for the second time in a 3-year stretch, and we just have to overcome it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And overcoming it is by winning the games that are in front of us that matter the most. Playoff games, stuff like that. But
Right.
but to what you said though, I think it's highly unlikely. In my opinion.
Okay. You think it's highly unlikely that the Knicks will win less than 50 games?
Yeah, I think we're still on the road to still get 50 plus wins.
Okay. Even with all the injuries.
Even with all the injuries. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, with Jalen Brunson and with Tibbs, and provided that some of our players get some decent little rest in between now and until the end of the season, we can still pull it off. Because it's not like we're not in every game. That Boston game was a tough game. It was ugly. You know what I'm saying? But it goes right back to the drawing board. Let's figure out how we can beat these cats. Let's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm gonna tell you right now. I was in high school, dominated the team all year long, all season long. But every time I saw them in the playoffs, they found a way to beat us. See, regular season, kill them all regular season, blow them out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In my 4 years of high school basketball, and for some reason, that was that one team that we faced in the playoffs.
They must have had you playing power forward or something. You must have been in a Josh Hart role.
Yeah, I really was. But it was all good though. I was good at it. I was good at it.
Right. Let me
But
I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
No. I mean, it is what it is. As long as you come for the playoffs, you come prepared, mentally and physically prepared. Yeah, I think we can compete with anybody. But that's just my opinion. And maybe I'm a homer. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? But you asked me a question, I gave you my opinion.
Yeah. Man, Cash, we ain't seen you for a minute, bro. How everything been? They tell me you got paper cuts. That it was like, yo, you was out due to injury. You had paper cuts in your hand.
I was out doing paper cuts.
Yeah, they said, yeah, you said.
Damn.
And listen, Cash, I'm gonna just say this, bro. Word of advice, right? When you count in money 24 hours a day, bro, you're gonna get paper cuts, bro. You got to put some gloves on or something, or get a machine to count the money for you, Cash.
All right, man. I'll pick up some Kevlar gloves, man. That'll help prevent some of the cutting, man.
Right. Or get a machine, get a money counter or something.
Yeah, I'll get the machine. Yeah, get a money counter. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I think to put a number on us is in terms of victories, it's important, but then it's not important. It's important because we need to keep up, with the other teams in the Eastern Conference. But it's also not important in respects of where we're going to be seated. You made the point in terms of Boston being the target, and I totally agree. And we need ourselves to align. It's just, of course, my opinion, where we meet them in the conference finals. We don't want to meet them in the second round. So if we can get like a number 2 or number 3 seed where we don't meet them to the conference finals, I think that'll be advantageous for us for the reasons that we can obviously play some lesser teams and get by them, but then it'll allow us to kind of like get our feet wet playoff wise in terms of how we match up, how we play, how this team comes together. Because as this season draws to a close, yes, we need those players to get healthy because we need to develop chemistry and cohesion and continuity with these players as they come back. And then also too, roles need to be more defined as the season comes to a close. Like who's going to play what and where and in what situations. Because, these things are going to come up in the playoffs. As you well know, Uncle, Freezy, that, the playoffs is a different animal. And thankfully we have the right coach that, that's playoff and battle tested. And so hopefully, these things can come to fruition.
Okay. How comfortable you? Hey, so, how comfortable are you with it?
I think we're in a good place. I think the health is going to be the key. Now, one thing in regards to Randall, we were talking about Randall with his particular injury. Understand that Randall is not going to be 100%. He's not going to be 100%. The fact that the option is out with him with surgery means that he is still experiencing some type of discomfort. So he's not going to be 100%. Not to say that he won't be effective, but it's a mental thing. Knowing that one wrong move and that thing pops out again. That's it.
They're saying your mic is crackly. I think your mic is crackly too, man. Is it a problem?
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know. I hear you crackling. I don't know what the problem is. I know I'm hearing you good with the headphones, but I might need to back out and back in. I might try that and see.
Oh, okay. Okay, we here, bro. We here. We ain't going nowhere. Jake, what's good, bro?
How you doing, Freezy? Long time no talk.
I'm all right. Slammed, busy, got a ton of homework.
I heard that.
Waiting on his phone to ring, the usual.
Keeping busy.
Yeah, staying busy.
For sure.
Yeah, man. Lee, what do you think about what Cash said, bro?
I mean, I think me and Cash on the same page. I mean, like you said, the last thing I'm gonna speak upon the last thing you said, and that was the most important thing. And I think I thought I put it out there. but I reiterate it is when we get to the playoffs, it's a whole different game. You know, we get more than one shot at the same team, and we got to just come up with different game plans or attack certain parts of the of these teams that excuse me.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Bim,
Yeah,
that sounds great, bro.
yeah, to attack
Yeah.
other we can attack these teams from a different perspective. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm getting this last little bit of phlegm up out of me.
Oh well, ew. All right,
Excuse me.
so yeah, so the thing with the thing with the playoffs, man, is it's gonna be as simple as this. Certain teams look good winning on a night-to-night basis in the regular season, right? And then you have to ask yourself, does that style translate in the playoffs? Right? What you do on a nightly basis, what you do on a nightly basis, does that translate to playoff success?
Like you on the beat.
Yo,
Good
yo,
morning.
and
Good
yo.
morning, everybody. Good morning, Uncle Freezy. Good morning to the panel. Good morning, chat.
Good morning, everybody. It's good.
Good
Morning,
morning, good
everyone.
Top,
Morning,
morning, good
guys.
morning.
Morning.
top of the AM, everybody.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go.
Salute to everyone.
Yeah, man. Salute. Yeah, man. Hey, Cowboy Bob, don't come in here for DJ Cash Neck, bro. Don't come in for DJ Cash Neck, man. Cash is a good dude.
Okay.
All
I will try. I will try.
right, all right. So,
DJ Cash is all love if I go at your neck, and I apologize beforehand. Just in case.
right.
This guy.
Right.
Here
It's
we
all
go.
good, man. It's all good.
You on a
It's all
good
good,
one.
man. It's all good.
Yes. Hey, Soulfinger, let me ask you this: Do you think the Knicks style of play? Do you think the Knicks style of play translate to beating 4 teams in a 7-game series?
Actually, yes. Long as we got the right players and everybody's healthy. Because you look at how we're already playing playoff style basketball, as in how Tibbs runs the minutes and everything. So it's going to be a slower game. Tibbs likes to turn it into a half court game, which is going to be a lot of that. You don't see a lot of fast breaks in playoffs. We already know that. It's going to be a physical game. So this will be a real grind them out game. Just like I was talking about that Popeye's biscuit. You know, you eat that Popeye's biscuit and it's all dry and it's choking you out. That's the kind of game he wants to play.
Right.
So we're already playing that style of game anyway. So it suits us. But like I said, health is the main thing for us right now. As long as we're healthy, yeah, we can do some things. We can do
Right.
some big things.
Right. Right. I don't know if this is what you hear on other channels or whatever. And so when it comes to the conversations here, I try to keep them as original as possible. So if you need some time to think about your answer or whatever, man, just take your time or whatever. But Cash, do you think this team is only built for Cuban links? Do you think this team is built to beat 4 teams in 4 different playoff series?
Yes, because we have enough depth and variety in personnel to match up against whoever we play against. Matchups are going to be important. Take, all right, like for an example, you were talking about Boston, and you were talking about certain matchups during that game, of how Josh Hart ended up on Porzingis, on switches.
Right.
With a fully healthy team, that's not. I mean, the switches are going to occur, but it's going to be different personnel that's going to be on Porzingis. It could be Precious or it could be Anunoby. And like you were saying, we cool with that because we know that those guys can defend. But to get back to the point of your question, yes, we can because we have the personnel to do it. And if Tibbs distributes, the minutes enough where we have the right personnel to go up against these guys, it can be done without it being taxing on Brunson. He's got to play keep him on a in other words, don't burn him out. Don't burn him out. Let it be a team effort. But to answer your question in one simple word, yes.
And not gonna lie to you, I think Dante DiVincenzo is getting burned out with OG Anunoby being out. And not that Dante is the defender that OG Anunoby is, but when you lose a defender, another defender has to step up.
Yeah.
Clearly, Saturday, Jaylen Brown took advantage of our smaller guards because we didn't have a 6'6", 6'7" strong athlete to defend him.
Like OG.
Right. But if the Knicks had OG Anunoby Saturday night, not guaranteeing that the Knicks would have won, but the game definitely would have looked different.
Different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Agree with you on the Dante. We talked about that. Was it yesterday, Freezer? We talked about that.
Yeah.
Because Dante's asked. He has to step up and do even more. Or everybody has to step up and do even more. But it's affecting Dante when you start reading out the stats, and you can see the drop with OG. Like I said, with OG on the floor, it helps everybody. It really does. It helps everybody because his presence defensively. I'm not talking about just offensively, but defensively, his bread and butter. That helps out because now Dante can stick with his person, stick with somebody he matches up better with. And then offensively, with OG on the floor, OG can do the things like you could dump the ball on him. He could dump the ball down low to him in the paint. He's gonna go right up and push it. He gonna mash it. Or he can put it back. He can score mid range, hit that 3. So he makes the other team have to work just as hard. You know what I'm saying? So that and having a true small forward is like that. He's that thread to bring it all together. You know what I'm saying? He's the thread to bring it all together because a lot of things go through him either, on both sides of the ball. You got to run through him somehow, some way. He plays that position.
Sorry to cut you off, but with the OG and our guy Dante, I honestly think Dante's playing the way he can. It's just OG's not there to help out. For example, when OG's playing defense, let's say on Brown, and Brown got him in the post move, Dante could come over and sneak and kind of do a little hezzy to kind of throw him off. Or if Dante's playing on ball and on the as a defender and he gets beat, he already knows OG's going to be at a certain spot to where he can compensate and go back down, grab a rebound, or poke at it like he's been doing to help get a steal. Those little things he can't do because he doesn't have OG with him. So for me, I think Dante's playing the way he's supposed to be playing, and the fact that he doesn't have the help of OG and Randall is exposing him. But he's still the same player he was before. I hope I made sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you made perfect sense, my brother. because also too with OG, he's got a 7-foot wingspan.
7-foot wingspan.
That
Yeah,
makes that makes a difference too. In defense, he's like
It's like trying to
he's
shoot
like
over a windmill.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And defensively, he's like our glue guy. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. But in my mind, as we sit here discussing just about OG coming back and the impact that he has, imagine OG and then Mitchell Robinson coming back. Woo!
Hey, Cash, and we talked about that yesterday. That's something we have yet to see because the defense on that, the before now, Cash and everybody remember before a lot of cats were always talking about, hey, Mitch is getting in foul trouble because of blah blah blah. He getting there too late. That's because whoever's on the wing can't defend their guy. But with OG on the floor, that makes it easier for Mitch because now he's not trying to look at 3 and 4 other positions because knowing somebody's gonna get their man gonna get by or that wing over there is gonna get around him like we had. No slight on RJ. RJ just couldn't keep up with a lot of cats. Like I said, the difference was RJ try to slow him down. That's all you need to do. Where OG is go lock him down, and that's the difference. And now Mitch and OG on the court, that defense right there, and that defense is going to give you more turnovers and more rebounds and stuff, more scoring opportunities. That's something that we haven't had in many a moon.
I honestly think it's the same thing with Precious if he was there. It doesn't matter if Mitch or Precious is in that 5 spot. I think when OG comes back, we will see what we really are missing. I love OG's game, but if you look at what OG brings, he's a good help-out defender. He comes off the wing. I'm not saying he's a perfect three-point shooter, but the way he can drive and kick out to Dante, these are the things that we were missing. For example, when Dante would get beat, you would see Dante rotate, look back to see where OG is, see who grabs the rebound, and he starts to leak to where he can create for our offense. They feed off of each other really well. But if you were to look at Mitchell coming back, I think that's a catch-22 because Mitchell now got to get incorporated with all these new players. See, iHeart's been playing with a little bit of OG, Randall, like he's been playing with them. So for Mitchell to come in, I think his floor spacing, the way he shuts down on rebounds, he may actually be pushing OG out of the way.
Well, see, this is the thing. You looking at it if he comes back right now, you got to give these cats time to gel. That's the thing. You got to give them time. So when they get time to get on the floor and work all that out, it will work. Defense, look, you got defensive players, you know how to play defense. You'll be able to work that out because you got your areas. You know what I'm saying? The way that and it trust on this one, this is one, and I'm saying it with my chest. I got the taco meat and everything out. That situation is gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work, period, point blank. With even because the only difference, one of the main difference between iHeart and Mitch is iHeart is the better scorer. That's one thing. He's a better scorer. Mitch is the better rebounder and defender. But the thing is, both of them play well. Though they play well in this system together. OG is we're talking about his defense and everything, but just look at OG's overall basketball IQ. The man has one hell of a basketball IQ, and you just got to just give it time. That's the one thing, I see because of his IQ and how things work, honest and truly, I think it could work. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. I think this can all work. It'll come together like butt cheeks. But the thing is, you got to be healthy. You got to get the time to work together. They got to gel. The chemistry. That's one reason I was saying if Mitch comes back, I would still keep iHeart in the starting lineup for chemistry sake because Mitch has been gone for so long.
Yeah.
But that's why I
totally agree with that.
I'm sorry, DJ, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I totally agree with that with Soulfinger because you got to understand, that's what I was saying, these last games, they're trying to incorporate Mitch with this, with these new players. And Mitch hasn't had that time. And so you have to see how that's going to, work out. I think it would be best. All right, no, I just want to finish my point here. That iHeart should stay in the starting lineup, have Mitch come in off the bench because Mitch is more familiar with playing with those guys coming off the bench as opposed of him with Anunoby in the starting lineup. Now, there's going to come a time where they both going to be in together, and I think when they do play together, they need to have some shooters in there to keep it on, to keep that defensive team honest. So if you have some shooters,
Well, man, Cash, are you
that's going to be a
saying
game
that?
changer.
Are you telling us that Mitch is more comfortable playing with guys off the bench, or is that just what you want?
It would be nice to see because of familiarity, because Mitch is used to playing with those guys. You got to understand
but he's also used to playing with Brunson and Randall.
Yeah, but I forget whether it was Solfing or someone else made a point in terms of, I guess, the spacing or whatever, how the continuity between the two. I mean, if they can work that out before the season ends, great. But then, also too, Mitch coming off that injury, you don't want to
just throw him in.
You don't want him to re-aggravate anything. Yeah, you don't want to throw him out cold.
Then
you got to let him get back in his groove. Let him get his feet under him. Let him get his.
So you want to bring OG Anunoby and Julius Randle off the bench too?
No.
I mean,
because they've already built their
critical when you say one player is injured and you want to ease them back in, but you have three players that are injured, but you don't want to apply the same rule for all three. You just want to do it for Mitch.
This is the rule. The rule is chemistry. When we did that stretch, you had iHeart, you had Anunoby, you had Randall, you had Brunson, and you had DiVincenzo. You want to leave that. You want to let that cook. You don't want to. In other words, you don't want to disrupt that. You want to change that. We already seen the fruitage.
So what you're saying is it has nothing to do with Mitch. You just want to keep the starting lineup intact.
Look at how it produced. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right. Well, that's a separate point. But you made a point about Mitch not starting because of the aforementioned thing.
Well,
right? So what I'm saying is if your point is if it's not broke, don't fix it, and you want Mitch to come off the bench, that's one thing. But saying Mitch should come off the bench because he's injured, and that's a separate point, is what I'm saying. And I'm trying to follow along because if the injury thing is a thing,
we're not ready.
Then Randall, OG, and Mitch have to come off the bench, so we won't sound hypocritical. Because they're all coming off long-term injuries, right?
Well, you know what? I look at it like this, Breeze. When I say
I'm sorry. So I'll just let me. I just want to add. Can you mind if I just get this?
No, go ahead, man.
Just real, because I asked Cash that because I just wanted clarification from Cash just real quick, and I promise I'll get out of the way.
All right. Now with OG coming back, because of the chemistry that he's developed with the players that he's played with, and the fact that he had surgery so that he should be 100%, he'll be able to go full throttle. Randall, on the other hand, as the point I made earlier, and that may be the point that you're referring to, of not being 100%. Randall will probably never come back.
What I'm saying is, if you have a hard, fast rule that an injured player has to come off the bench in order to not disrupt the chemistry, then that hard, fast rule should apply to everybody that's injured, including OG Anunoby and Julius Randle.
I would say it shouldn't be a hard, fast rule. It should be flexible based off what they're coming back from.
So it's not about Mitch's injury then.
No, actually it's not. It's about chemistry and cohesion.
Okay.
But if you're saying we're not ready, if you're asking for more time, you're asking for continuity and rotations, we're not ready for a playoff series because we're expecting positivity from the players that are coming back as opposed to what we already have.
I'm trying to follow what you're going with that.
No, I got you.
Go ahead.
No, because Cash had said that they need time to incorporate and get back into the system with Mitchell. That's why he said Mitchell should come off the bench. And I'm saying if we need time to get these guys acclimated into our system isn't set, so we're not ready. Same way we still haven't acclimated the three-pointer into our system. We're still not ready.
It's not that the system is set. The players are not set. There's a difference between players and the system. The players help to operate the system. The system is already set. It's the players that are
They
not
gotta get
set.
acclimated to
In
the
other
system.
words, yeah, exactly. They have to get acclimated to the system. It's just like when you play in chess, you know, certain pieces have certain roles. And that's what I was saying about the chemistry and cohesion. Once these roles are developed, you know, and chess pieces can only move in certain directions, then that's when you have it all together. It takes time. It's a fluid situation. When something is fluid, that means, you know, it's a work in progress, and then it's going to start to come together.
Well,
and that's why these remaining games in this.
How do you speak to the fact that OG Anunoby and Precious got here day one, fit right in, and the system took off?
Perfect example.
Why did it take off?
Yeah,
because their style of play.
It was. Well, no, I was just going to say you go ahead, finish your point, Soulfinger. Go ahead. And
no, I was just saying their style of play fits his system better than what we already had. You know what I'm saying? So you could put them in. Again, you got to look at the basketball IQ of OG. Now with Precious had been playing bag up center in Toronto for the longest. Even though he's a power forward, but you needed to put him in at that position to use him on the back to give us more length and size. So the way he played, and then you remember Precious was a lot of cats saying that he looked shaky. But once you put him into that position and that power forward, and he got more acclimated into the system and got to know what was going on. He was off and running. He's been off and running ever since. Now, with the thing I was saying about the whole thing with Mitch and bringing him back, he's been gone longer because he hasn't played with OG and Randall on the floor at the same time. That's why I was saying that, and then also bring him in a little bit slower. Also, the simple fact that now there's other thing, and we talked about iHeart. I do worry about that Achilles because we see he's not playing the best ball right now because that Achilles is not right. So I worry about that as well when it comes to him. So you don't want to, you work him in as easy as you can. And then
it sounds like, but to me, when I was trying to just have the segment not jump in, but what it sounds like to me, what y'all are saying is you don't want Mitch a part of the starting lineup.
Oh no, I won't.
Because
I'm not saying that. No.
Robinson. The thing is with Mitch is, and I think we forget sometimes because he misses a lot of games. The thing is with Mitch is Mitchell Robinson is the longest tenured Knick. Mitchell Robinson has been in Tom Thibodeau's system since day one, right? If we're talking about system and chemistry and all that stuff, who has more chemistry with Tom Thibodeau than Mitchell Robinson? Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle have been here since day one of Tom Thibodeau installation. He was here they were here in install. Precious Achiuwa and OG Anunoby not just going to walk in and fit into a Tibbs thing, and they only been here since the end of December. There's no way y'all can convince me that OG Anunoby and Precious are a better fit than Mitch, who's been here for 6 years and 4 years with Tibbs. Right? It's got to be something.
I'm not saying.
No, we're not saying that they're a better fit. They're not saying they're a better fit. They're not a better fit, but these guys need time to gel together. Also, to follow up on Soulfinger's point, why OG and why Precious seems like they fit seamlessly, not only because of the system, but because of instinctively. I think there was a comment made, I can't pinpoint as to when OG first came in and how they were saying, when they played the first game together, they just ran off instinct. And then because of, Soulfinger too, you also made the point in terms of the IQ, the fact that he has the acumen, a high IQ, to know what type of system this is and how that system is to be played. It's just like he fits in seamlessly.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because to Ank's point, like he said, from day one, these two guys have been here. So you're expecting a guy who just been added on. For me, this is where I get confused. You're adding on OG and thinking that he could fit in perfectly. That it doesn't work like that. You have to stick with what you know. Mitchell, Randall have been here from day one. They know the system best. Why not use those guys? They have time together. Because the way I look at it is the regular season prepares you for playoffs. If we need more time, that means we need more time during the regular season to make this work. I don't think we need more time if Randall and Mitchell come back because they already know the system.
Well,
Compared to OG and Precious, they help us out now because the time we need them. So now when you look in the beginning when you had Mitchell and Randall, they had to start from scratch and build up to where OG and Precious just comes in. Oh, this is all I got to do? Cool. That's easier. So for me, I would rather start Mitchell, start OG, start our normal five, and run with that because our bench has been playing majority of the regular season, and their experience is going to help us for the playoffs. But we still need time. We're not ready for the playoffs.
All right, Bob. So check this out. I'm going back to what you were saying. So was Mitchell playing was OG and Precious here at the beginning of the season?
No.
When Mitchell went down, was he there?
No.
Okay. Now Mitchell's coming back, and he's got to play back in the game shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why not bring him off the bench and let him work his way back in? I'm not saying bring him off, not to bring him as a starter. I'm saying bring him back, ease him back in, because eventually you want Mitch to be the start center again, not just throw him back out there. Now, the only caveat to this that I would change
if you do that, are you going to do the same thing to OG?
Hold on, Freeze.
Are you going to do the same? Are you going to do the same thing to OG Anunoby and Mitchell and Julius Randle?
Julius Randle.
No, I'm not, because they haven't been gone as long as Mitch. Because they haven't been gone as long as Mitch. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been gone that long. Mitch has been gone for a good part of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Julius has been down for how long? 3 weeks, right?
About the same time as OG Anunoby.
They've been gone about three to 4 weeks. They've been longer. So it's easier for them to come back than it would be for Mitch. And also, we're talking about Mitch coming back off a foot injury. So a foot injury he had before. I want to ease Mitch back in to get his wind up, because Mitch is the linchpin and one of the most important pieces we need to make that run. So when it's all said and done, when the playoffs come, I want Mitch in that starting lineup. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? When you look at the big picture, we got the best of both worlds. It really, I mean, I understand every you guys' point as regards to, just throwing them in the sense of getting them acclimated. But we had the best of both worlds because we can plug and play. Either way we go, it's a win-win for us. And that's the way we need to look at it, in terms of moving forward and heading towards the playoff. It's a win-win. And it goes back to the point where I was saying as regards to, whatever team we play in terms of matchups, how all this is going to play out. It's a win-win for us either way, because no matter what lineup we put in there against whoever we play against, we got this.
Salute, Knicks family. I love the passion. Salute to the chat. Salute to all you, the mods. Salute to you, Freezy, and the rest of the crew. How y'all doing?
Everybody.
Great conversation. Mitch, my dog, is coming back. It's exciting. It'll take some time for him to get his legs. He doesn't mind coming off the bench for a minute, but as well as I know, the moment he starts doing Mitch things, he's going to be in the game. That's it.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you.
Tibbs plays the hot hand just about every night. That's how we try and win games. He's about winning games. And if he believes one dude is getting it done one night, that's who he's going to play. And I'm sure if iHeart is having a great game, he's going to play. That's just how Tibbs is. And he's all about wins. It bothered me the other night when iHeart complained about minutes in a game we won, and he was complaining that he only got 11 minutes. That kind of bothered me, especially since he should understand we're trying to keep him healthy. But, that's maybe a conversation for another day. But salute.
Yeah, good point. Hey, good point, Ivory. Is you were actually bringing it out what I was going along, probably going a long way around without getting straight straight into what I was trying to get my point across. It's not about keeping Mitch off the starting lineup because Mitch, we already know how important Mitch is to the way the system is in this team. But you want Mitch to come in, you build him back up. Now, again, with the whole iHeart thing, that Achilles, and that I'm a little shaky when it comes to the Achilles. He's been talking about Achilles soreness for all this time. He had to sit down for a while. He comes back, and these last 2 games, he hasn't been looking good. Even like you said, the game we won, he's complaining about minutes, but iHeart did not look good.
That's facts. He didn't look so great. He was not having the impact we'd want him to have, but we'll give him some time as well. It's good that he wants to be out there and that he feels healthy enough to be out there. That's positive, but I haven't seen the same iHeart from a few weeks ago just yet, but we'll give him a little time. We'll see.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
And then also too, you got to keep in mind the extent of the injury and what the injury is. For an example, like with Mitch and his foot, he's a big man. I mean, a lot of what he does, depends on having his feet. So if his feet ain't right, then that's going to throw his whole game off. And so just as Soulfinger mentioned, he needs to to acclimate and get back. And then once he gets back, like y'all are saying, then Mitch can just go ahead and rock and do the Mitch things. iHeart, which I kind of overlooked, which Soulfinger made reference to as a caveat. Yeah, you got to be a little careful for him with that Achilles, because once you rip your Achilles, you done. So yeah. I mean, he needs to be careful with that. But in the meantime, we got enough soldiers, we got enough other chess pieces where we can just continue to rock and do the things that we need to do.
I was gonna say I don't want to just come off and seem like I'm disagreeing, but I don't see that actually working. The best thing for us to do is come in with what we have and attack with our starting roster. If Mitch comes back, put him right in the starting rotation, see what he's capable of. You see him struggling, take him out 5 minutes, use him on the back end. You can make those adjustments, but still start Mitch. Because to me, iHeart being the backup to Mitch is what we're used to. And now that we have Precious to back up iHeart, that actually helps us even more. So instead of hindering and holding back Mitchell and easing him in, no, play Mitchell, because we need to see what we have. And if Mitchell goes down, we have iHeart to start him, to back up. We've already been down that road. So for me, if I'm going to start Mitch, if I'm going to start OG or Randall, I'm starting Mitch. I'm starting everybody that's coming back and trusting the team that we built. Because at this point, what was the purpose of everyone practicing Precious playing the 5, Precious playing the 4? What was all of that for? That's why I say if we're not ready and we're still asking for more time when these guys come back, we're not playoff bound. Mitchell should come in and start immediately.
I'm still not tracking with you on that.
What does it really matter who starts? I mean, it really just doesn't matter who starts. For the longest, it's really, I've been trying to tell, it's about who finishes. It's not about who starts. And you're saying get continuity with those starters. Mitch is the kind of piece that fits everywhere all the time. Mitch does his own thing on the offensive boards. He doesn't need anybody to pass. He doesn't need anybody to do that for him. That's his thing. His thing is defense and offensive rebounding, and he doesn't need anybody to do that. He doesn't need anybody else to do that. So, I love, I'm the biggest Mitch fan in the room, but I still think he's going to need a little time. He's going to need a little time. And if you can't have a guy that's prepared to play 30 minutes, then he probably shouldn't start. He probably shouldn't be ready to start if he's not physically ready. And we know Tibbs will, if you're having a good game, Tibbs is going to keep you out there and you might get hurt again. So just ease him back in. And then trust me, if he's making the impact that Mitch makes, he'll be the starter. Tibbs is not scared to make a change like that. That Mitch is his guy. So I don't see that being a problem.
I feel easing him in, he may get injured. And any way we look at this scenario, easing him in or starting him, he has a possibility of being injured. Just start the man. Because if you have Mitchell and OG there, and Mitchell gets hurt, you don't even have to go to Hart. You can use Precious. And then we can have that matchup that I've been saying I would love to see. But there's other things we can do. Let them come back and let them make the impact immediately, because this entire time, our second team and our bench has been holding it down. They also need a break as well. You don't think Josh Hart needs a break when OG comes back?
Yeah,
You
these
don't
dudes
think-
been playing 40 minutes. What are
Exactly.
you
That's what I'm
talking
saying.
about?
Bring Mitchell back in and let him start so these guys
These
can.
dudes is playing 42
Exactly.
minutes out of position. These small dudes are playing up and playing 40 minutes doing it. And we think by easing somebody back in, it's gonna help the player that's returning. What about the players that's already here?
Thank you. See,
They
Hart is
going
gonna
back
be
into the
burnt.
same. They're going back to the same
what's
position.
I just think we have to be somewhat just realistic about. Well, it just depends on really. I think what someone said about the injury they have, right? If it's the kind of injury that hey maybe overuse could possibly get them re-injured, then yeah, I think you got to be careful. Like someone is saying this Achilles for iHeart is a little different than maybe this elbow that got like a splinter taken out of a bone. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but if playing more time isn't going to necessarily re-injure it, then no, then I agree. Yeah, you should be playing, but I think it depends on whatever injury we're talking about.
And
But
it sounds like
the thing we have to understand is certain injuries outside of Randall is an exception because a separated shoulder due to a fall, you can't. That's not a wear and tear injury, right? That's an accidental injury. Right, but the OG Anunoby injury, bone spurs, elbow tendonitis, removing bone chips from your elbow. Mitchell Robinson, an athletic big that has ankle surgery and things like that. Those are wear and tear type injuries where you ask somebody to do something over and over. It's like tennis elbow or like dead arm in baseball. These dudes, when you ask, the hardest thing to do in the NBA is be a multifaceted, flexible defender in any scheme. And I keep saying it over and over, and I probably should say it in a different way. When you have Paul George's, Kawhi Leonard's, OG Anunobis, they're going to get injured all the time, and it's not going to be the same injury all the time. When you ask a 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" athlete to cover 6'1" guys and then 7-foot guys in the same game, from game to game, they're going to get injured. They're going to have the wear and tear. That's the reason why I'm saying I think it's hypocritical to say bring Mitch off the bench when you know it's a wear and tear injury and not say the same thing for OG Anunoby, right? OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson are both injury prone.
I think it's because of the need, though, for
saying what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. To me, it's a hypocritical point. If you want to save Mitch and bring him back slow, then apply the same thing to OG Anunoby, right?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Because OG Anunoby is in that same frame, athletic defender, having to guard multiple people. OG Anunoby legit in a game will go from guarding Cam Thomas to Nick Claxton in the same game.
And that's why we can't really afford to really play him slow, be slow with him, because there's no one else on the team that does what he does.
Right.
And but Mitch, in Mitch's case, we do have what people perceive to be a pretty solid backup. So they're saying, hey, there's no reason to even kind of push this to the next level. Let's go. So it's sort of like a pitcher returning from any injury. They're not going to say, hey, go throw us 9 innings or give us 7 solid. They're going to say, hey, give us a solid 3, 4, and then we'll ease you back in. And it's just because they want to take it slow and not push the envelope. That's all. I think with OG, we just don't have anybody who could do what he does. So he's a little bit more valuable to us actually right now.
I get what you're saying is smart. What Cash said was smart, but what I'm saying though is we shouldn't leave this up to opinion. Have a rule, one way or the other. Either you're cold or you're hot, right? Pick one. Either you're red or you're blue. Pick one. It's yes or no. Pick one and have it be the standard, right? And that's all I'm saying. Like if Cash has this, like Cash's point, return everybody from injury in slowly, then I'm okay with it. If Cash would have said no, everybody that all the starters that are out due to injury, when they come back, they're the starters, I'd have been like, okay. But when you say bench Mitch, bring Randall along slowly and start OG Anunoby, it makes me think it's not even about. I think it's a false premise. It's a false facade. it sounds fake, right? It's more about preference. Like you want OG to start. You want Randall to come along slow. You want Mitch off the bench. That's what it sounds like in my ear. Now, and when I say that, I'm absolutely knowing Cash has been around and Sofinger have been around forever in these Knicks conversations. And I know they're smart, right? And I know these things are well thought out. But what I'm saying is when I hear there's a separate precedent for each injured player, it sounds less about a strategy and more about preferences. That's all I'm saying.
I've heard some of that. My preference is to always play Mitch. Play Mitch 48 minutes if you can, because I'm a Mitch guy. But I can understand them saying, "Hey, let's just go slow, big fella. Right now, we just want to make sure you're healthy during the big games when we really need you." And even who knows? He might be healthier at the time when he comes back than even iHeart is at that time. Who knows? So really, it's just about trying to get everybody healthy at the right time. I certainly have had my preferences, who I think impacts the game more, but that's just a preference, but I think we need everybody. If we're going anywhere, we need everybody to step up when they're in the game. So, right now I'm all about the W's, man. That's why I was so disappointed to hear those comments from iHeart. This should be about wins right now and how we can get to get to where we're trying to go. I still don't know if we missed an opportunity at the trade deadline to get another impact scorer. I think, maybe we did, maybe we didn't. But, we'll see. We're going to see how this plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
I was just going to say real quick, how you start, we started with Mitchell, but like you said, how we start and how we finish are two totally different things. But the most consistent thing that we know is when Randall and Mitchell are on the court, we are at our most effective. You are right. We started with them, and we've made the adjustments through that. But why not go back to what we know and stick to that? Because our current players that have been holding it down are just as tired as the players that are injured.
Because they were hurt.
How do we not know?
I think on the point of finishing, that something that we can observe as Knicks fans going from now into the conclusion of the season, take note of who finishes, because that might determine what's going to be going on in the playoffs. Watch who finishes and see what lineups work best in those situations. And I think that'll probably answer all of our questions in terms of, who need to be in, who, might not fit with this particular lineup or whatever. So I think that may be something as a point of reference for all of us, is to watch and see who finishes in these games going on.
I've been thinking about how things might change, and I don't want to get off subject. And Freezy, tell me if I am. It sounds. I was thinking about in the playoffs how Tibbs might go to a smaller lineup. I've been hearing that a lot, and personally, I think that's what takes away from our advantage. Everyone says, "Well, have your best players play the most of the game," but I think our advantage is that we have solid players on the bench as well. And if you're not playing those guys, giving those starters a break, because the point is that our guys off the bench are as good as other teams' starters when they're tired, right? As good or better when their starters are tired and out there playing extra minutes. So if we're not utilizing that advantage, I'm not sure we're the same team. I'm not sure we're as good.
Are you speaking to our depth?
Correct.
Okay.
And if that depth will be utilized in the playoffs. I've heard people talk about how the lineup would get, shrunk, to an 8-man potential lineup. And I don't see Tibbs doing it. I see Tibbs going, if everyone is healthy, which, let's be honest, and as many people as we've got hurt, somebody's not going to be here. So we should be prepared for that. Somebody's not going to be playing. It's just going to be we have to get too lucky for everybody to be 100% healthy. Let's be real. If we were looking at another team's good players and we saw 3 out of 4 of their top players hurt, we wouldn't really be counting them. We wouldn't be. So I think we got to temper our expectations a little bit.
I was just gonna say, when it comes to playoffs, Tibbs is using his 9-man rotation that we have now without Randall, without Mitchell and OG. When they come back, he has a full roster. Why would you not use the small ball to help out create chaos? People don't see how we playing small when we had Josh Hart, Precious, and we had Dante. And we were just running the floor. We can use that to our advantage. But with that being said, I think that we have plenty more schemes now when these three guys come back, because we're not going to hear Tibbs just running a 9-man rotation. He's doing that now. 3 of our key players are out. When they come back, he has a full roster. Tibbs is going to be in heaven. His rotations are going to be different, yes, but they're all going to contribute to winning because he has the players, the wing defenders he needs. He has the big that could box out. He has a guy who can shoot threes as a specialist in Bogues, who can help out Dante when he's being burnt out. Like we're good because right now we have a 9-man rotation and we're winning. When our 3 key assets come back, nothing can stop us. But the problem is figuring out the rotation.
We all the way up. Nothing can stop us. We all the way up. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Cowboy Bob, I agree with you on that point. And I think again, it goes back, as we head towards the playoffs, it's going to be based on matchups. Like for an example, Freezer, you'll understand this point. We can't go with a small ball lineup against Boston. That's not going to work. Whereas with, let's say if we meet, I don't know, say in Indiana or something, that lineup may work. I'm just using them as a reference. I'm not saying that's going to be the team. So in other words, it's going to be based on matchups, based on who we play, whether, we because we have that flexibility to go with a small ball lineup, whether we need to utilize that or not. So it's like playing spades with a hand of just, taking somebody to Boston, which is a beautiful thing if you're playing spades. So that's a nice luxury to have.
True, but if you look at the small ball, like you said with Boston, we will have more ball handlers to help out Brunson to get to the open floor if we go small. We also still have our good 2 to 3 rebounders if we go small in Precious, Hart, or OG, or even whichever who you want to use with the small balls.
That's not going to work against Boston. That's not going to work against Boston, though, man.
You're not using them as a starting piece. You're using them for 2 minutes, a quarter here, adjustments. That's what I'm talking about with the rotation.
Listen, we got to get to Boston. We got to get to these teams. We've got work to do here. I mean, we are not in the clear right now, and I don't know why we just all of a sudden have written off Cleveland as if hey, we beat them last year, so it's over. Cleveland is balling. They're good. It's not a given. If we're not healthy, we have our work cut out for us, and that's where it lies for me, man. We got to see dudes on the court.
Cleveland has a weaker schedule than we do. We are 17th as far as weakest schedule. Of course,
yeah, but no one said we had a weak schedule when we were balling in January. When as soon as Mitch went down, we started playing a bunch of suckers, and all of a sudden everyone thought we were a top, team. All of a sudden,
but Ivory, let me ask you this though, right? Because you mentioned we have to get to Boston, right? Right. What about Cleveland and Milwaukee? Do they also have to excel and win playoff series in order to get to Boston?
Without a doubt.
And so what I'm asking the chat based off what Ivory said is if there is a standard, if everybody has to go through the same thing, do you believe all 4 top 4 seeds are going to win their first round playoff series? Is that the expectation for the top 4 seeds to be Boston, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Knicks? Do you expect all 4 of them to win their series?
I say yes.
Because if you had any doubt, right, if you may have said no, right, then what Ivory 10 said, we have to table it for a moment and readjust when those upsets happen. Right, like for instance, the Cleveland. Am I confident that today? Am I confident that Cleveland's style of play in the regular season can translate into a win over the Indiana Pacers in a 7-game series? Am I confident with that right now? I don't know. Am I confident that this Milwaukee Bucks team, will be able to beat the Miami Heat in a 7-game series in the first round? I don't know if I'm confident with it, bro, because last year those 2 teams played in the first round and Milwaukee lost. So I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like Ivory 10 is basically saying to us, Like, instead of us establishing a gateway, how about we take one step at a time, right? How about we worry about who's in front of us first? What I'm saying is, I'm with Ivory 10, right? But at the same time, if we have to go by um, um, precedents, the precedents have already been set. Miami already beat Milwaukee in a first round series, and they did it last year. It's the most recent precedent, right?
Fact.
And then if I ask Cash, are you confident that Cleveland can take this style of play right here and beat Orlando or Indiana in a 7-game series? I don't know if we're as confident as what we thought we were. Can they? Yes. Will they? Probably. But are we confident? Like, would you bet your car on it? No, I ain't. No.
Hell no.
No, I'm not betting my car on that. No.
No.
I see. One game at a time.
I'll say this about Cleveland. I watched the game with Philly the other night, and they're a different team without. Yes, they're a different team without Donovan Mitchell. Without Donovan Mitchell, I think they're just ordinary. I mean, I wasn't impressed. I mean, Garland, not enough to get the job done. LeVert.
That's most teams.
He was on.
That's us without
Randall. Mobley just doesn't have the physicality. Jared Allen does, but if you're dependent on Jared Allen to put up points, that's not what he do. He's defense and rebounding. So I definitely see that in Cleveland. So
okay,
that's just my take on Cleveland from what I saw.
That's Cleveland without their superstar, you're saying?
Yes.
That sounds just like the Knicks without our superstar.
Yep.
And it's very hard. It's different, too, because I think Brunson, we ease up on Brunson and let him have the ball. I think he's just as impactful as Randall. Like, we have two superstars.
But no, I was going to say, that brings me to the point of Brunson. We cannot burn him out before the season's over. When we get these other guys we got to let these other guys got to cook. They got to carry us through the rest of these games and let Brunson just manage the game. Brunson, we see what he does night in and night out. We got to have him ready for the playoffs, meaning he's going to be ready, but we want him physically to be ready. And hopefully Tibbs don't be running him like 38, 40 minutes a game every game for the rest of the season. We need to have him in peak condition come playoff time.
That's why we
touched base earlier
when
as far as, with DiVincenzo.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's going to you're right. They're going to basically be plug and play. When they come in, they're going to take away minutes from those guys that's been playing 40 minutes, because they shouldn't be playing 40 minutes.
Also, just not to cut you, but I think we get enamored with the word minutes, and what we should be doing is be enamored with roles and responsibilities, because you can play 40 minutes running up and down the floor and not even impact the game. You just out there, being a fringe complimentary piece, right? But I'll say it like this: the Deuce McBride handful of minutes, or higher role, higher responsibility than the Alec Burks minutes.
Thank you.
And Alec Burks may play more.
Exactly what I was going to say.
All right, let me mention it. That's a good point. What is more impactful? An impactful 15 minutes, or what you just mentioned, a guy being out there 40 minutes out there just to be out there? Obviously, it's going to be those 15 minutes.
I was going to say,
I'd rather play 15 more impactful minutes than 40 non-essential minutes.
But you said that we need to help out Brunson. That's what Burke was here for. He's not doing his job. So how do we fix that issue? One, and two, if we're going to have everybody come back, using a small ball, to me, would actually expose the help of Brunson, because Brunson is not the main ball facilitator. It'll either go to Dante or Hart. Or even if Randall comes back, it'll go to Randall. Randall could push the ball. Now we have our main 3-point high shooter that we have in Brunson coming off ball, that's dangerous. But there are things that we need to that we're not holding accountable. For example, you just said Brunson, his accountability. The Knicks brought in Burke to do that, and he's not doing that. But no one has ever said anything negative about Burke. All I hear is when Bogues had his
Burke's
before he
only
hit
been
his
here
6.
2 weeks though, bro.
But wait, hold on. Bogues could go 6 for 6 2 games ago. Everyone's praising him. But then before he went 6 for 6, people were giving him hell. It's okay. Like everyone's like, oh, Burke will figure it out. He's okay. But Bogues got to prove himself. And it wasn't until he had his 6 for 6, and the game before that where he had the first half he was off, and in the second half he came back and got 19 points. He's improved. But nobody gives him credit in his improvement, but we so quick to just look aside and say, we're good because we got Brunson. Burke will figure it out. That's not fair. And as well as how we're going with this team, we need to find there's so many things that are making us trip over our own selves, and Burke is one of them. If Burke was ready and doing what he needed to do, we wouldn't need to use the small man rotation. We wouldn't need to use these other plays because Burke is reliable. And we could actually use Burke off the bench and have him start instead of Dante and use Dante's 20 points with Bogues. Have 2 foot. Like, you see what I'm saying? We're stuck because our guy isn't doing what he's doing, but no one brings that up. And that's not fair. Hold him accountable the same way you hold everyone else.
Burks is a career 12-point shooter versus where Bogey is a career 20-point guy. Or at least he's the 20-point guy when he was in Detroit. You know, Burks was always coming off the bench. Burks has always been a utility type of guy. You understand what I'm saying? So what we're asking him to do is try to help facilitate the offense. We can't get him to replace what Brunson does. You know what I'm saying? Or slide him over to an off guard position, because by nature and by scheme, Jalen Brunson is a point guard, and he's a scoring point guard at that point. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas Burks is a 2 guard, a wing, and that's his career job as a wing, as a 2 guard. You understand what I'm saying? We're talking about role and responsibility.
I understand. But I was just gonna say, with role and responsibility, he's still a guard. It's weird how his role and responsibility gets overlooked. But there are plenty of times I've seen Josh Hart bring the ball up. I've seen even before Burke got here, Randall bring the ball up. We have guys that bring the ball up, but every time I see Burke with it, he's either looking to pass and run to his spot and stand there, or he's just mowing it around. I've never really seen Burke be involved in this offense. He hasn't shown me anything. But with Bogues, he went 6 for 6. First half before that, like I said, there's things that he's done. He was off, then he went to defense. Then he started realizing he can't close out here, so he started changing up his position. When they actually had him try to close out on I think it was it Brown? Yeah. When Brown was at the 3-point range, he got beat, and then they tried to have Burks come up, and then Brown dunked the ball. Like that whole play, he sees and knows he's not capable of keeping up. So what we need to do is, hey, Burks, if you see that that's coming, why aren't you cutting in once Hart got beat at the 3-point to cover up or at least slow down Brown to where Bogues on the back end can at least jump, and when he's jumping, he's at the spot he needs to be to contest the shot. Burke doesn't get any of this hate or any of this coverage. It's just, he'll figure it out. If he was doing his part, Brunson wouldn't be paying 39 minutes. He wouldn't be on ball, off ball. The last 5 games, if you look at how he's been controlling the ball, he's forced. Because early in the season, he didn't need to control the ball with the clock. He didn't need to worry about who he's passing to. He just needed to focus on get to the spots, get these guys involved. Now you're asking more from Brunson because of Alex Burke not doing his part.
I gotta disagree with you on that, because I know a lot of people coming down on Burks. Catch me coming down on Burks. And then as far as Bogey's been doing his thing. He's coming along. So, you know, his shot with the last game, both Devo and Bogey, that shot wasn't falling. And you can see what was going on. Cats would touch legs weren't in the shots. Regardless, Brunson's gonna be on the floor more than anybody because right now he's the solo best player on the team. So he's gonna get a lot of minutes, and of course they're gonna double and triple team him. So that being said, it goes back again to the one thing, the daggone injuries. Everybody's asked to do more or out of pocket than what they normally would do. No excuse for Burks. The Burks could be playing better. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is you're looking at them because they're veterans. You're looking at the veterans will pick it up because you expect the veterans to fall in and get rhythm and get in and get it going. So everything that's going on is going to come back. It all boils back down to the injuries, and cats are playing asked to do more, or playing out of positions, or putting these positions they have to do what they normally wouldn't be able to do.
Okay, but I see your point. I'm not gonna, keep saying that I feel that Burke needs to step up. I honestly think the reason why Brunson's doing so much is because of the lack of Burke.
Burke is not the only one, though, bro. I mean,
because if you
just
can
saying,
see,
but Bob, hold on. You saying just Burke, but even before Brunson didn't get a lot of minutes, you just can't say Burke. It's the team as a whole. Burke can be playing better, and I agree with you on that. But it's just not Burks, because Burks is not a point guard. You got Deuce. Deuce is slotted as a point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So shouldn't he be doing more?
He has stepped up. He has been playing better.
But has he been doing?
He's not consistent.
Okay, but that means he needs to step up just as much as you saying Burks. So it's not everything is just not Burks. It's the team as a whole. That's what I'm saying.
Good
I'm
point.
looking at it as a whole. And with the injuries, you got guys, because let's be honest, it takes Deuce. Deuce had trouble getting the team, getting everything in motion, setting up the offense. You see him get this position where he's pounding the ball, and then he's trying to get it out. But then you have some when he can get it going. We already seen the Burks experiment with him trying to run point guard. You know what I'm saying? That was about as effective as a baby giraffe on rollerblades. Come on, man. So that being said,
on rollerblades too, bro. No helmet, no elbow pads.
So it's just like, it's not about Burks. You got to look at I'm looking at everything as a whole, not just this one person, one piece. Because see, what we're doing, it seems like it's always going back in to point on one person. It's like, when we had other players here, everybody was like, Pounder was his fault because of this, and his fault because of that, or his fault. You had certain ones that everybody want to beat up on. And of course, we're all going to find that one person we want to beat up on. But you got to look at it. I'm looking at it as a whole, as a team as a whole. And it goes back to it. A lot of the stuff you see when it getting late in the game or later in the game, you see the mistakes. That's from fatigue, mental fatigue, some of the bad passes. And I already said, Alex Burks, he's good to give you a bonehead play, about 2 bonehead plays a game. He's good for that. That's a given. It's like, okay, he got his first bonehead out the way. He playing a little better. He got the second bonehead play out the way. Oh, he's good.
Josh Hart too.
Josh Hart too. Just both of them. And when you have both of them on the floor at the same time, and they passing the ball to the water boy or throwing it up to the 5th row, come on, man. The laser. So I'm just saying, it goes back to we're asking these cats to do a lot more than what they would be doing in certain roles. Before we were worried, people were saying Josh Hart won't shoot. He's been shooting threes. He's been hit some, but then he makes some bad plays. So overall, man,
McBride
got it. What about Deuce?
What I was gonna say was, since the trade, McBride has stepped up. He hasn't been consistent. Let me give you an example. There was one game I remember him hitting like 3 3-pointers when we needed it, and he came back on defense with a steal. And he even tried to draw fouls. He was trying to, you see him trying to get to the rack, dunk on people, show that he's making a presence or an effort to score, and as well play defense. So, of course, he's going to be inconsistent because he's not a veteran like Burke. Burke already been in this system. Burke is experienced. He was coming here for 15 points, and you're right. His job is not to be the ball handler, but if you see that Brunson is having issues with the ball, all we need you to do is inbound the ball to you pass it off to Hart, or you pass it off to the next transition man. Because I think if we get Brunson off ball, when he gets into the half-court set, Brunson is way more dangerous because you know why? He's on the move. You can't keep up with Brunson on the move. One, if he's especially at the wing, he's moving from a backdoor cut to get to his spot to the three-pointer. That pass right there, dangerous, and there's less energy on him. That's where Burke needs to step up. You don't have to score. You don't have to rebound. You just have to be involved enough in the offense to free up your man to get a shot. Give him the proper screen. Give him the proper give and go. I've seen Burke play in the three-point range where freaking Brunson's pulling up. Like, he don't need to be doing that. Set the screen and rolls. Get the inbound ball. Like the same way we used Bogues, for example. Same way the Nuggets use Bogues. The Nuggets use Jokic. When he inbounds the ball, sticks his butt out, hands it back to freaking Murray. We could do the same thing with Bogues. Bogues gets the ball, looks for Brunson to come, give him, cuts off his man with the angle, Brunson can go. We don't run that play. We could even pass it off to Hart, like the way we used to do it when we did it with, like you see Hart now doing what Randall was doing with the ball, bringing it up, controlling it. Like, I prefer that Burke step up to where we can have Brunson more reliable off ball to where we can be a better scorer. Because Brunson going back and forth is too much.
So again, you said, but you saying we don't run that play, but who calls the plays?
I can't knock that. But all I'm saying is Burke is a vet. Burke's experience, to me, you should know better to where McBride isn't outshining you. And I think McBride is putting up an argument saying that he's over Burke to me. Because I've seen McBride go back on defense. I've seen him, and I'm not even talking about the whole season. I'm talking about since the trade.
So my other thing is, how many other people on the court?
It's 4 other people on the court.
I mean, you got Burke, you talking about Brunson and Burke, but how many other people on the Knicks side of the ball?
3.
You got 3 more, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, is Burke supposed to be the one, just the sole one? And this is not me defending Burke. I'm just trying to make logic of what you put in, because like I said, overall it's team. Because you got other players out there. So you got Deuce out there on the court as well. Deuce is the point guard. So when you're saying when Burks is out there with Brunson, if you notice, Brunson's minutes have gone up even more because of due to injuries. You got to keep him on the court. You remember before the injuries, Tibbs kept Brunson and Randall on the court at one time with the bench. Their minutes would come in, he would pull them out. He's still doing the same thing. Just right now, Brunson minutes are going up. Everybody's minutes are going up. And like I said, it's due to injury. And we're talking about what, two weeks with them on the floor. I mean, we're talking about 2 weeks with them actually playing. Yeah, they've been practicing and everything, but they still need that time.
But the question should be, why is Brunson's minutes going up when none of his backups are hurt?
Thank you.
Well, the simple as that. That's it. Well, you can say thank you all you want. I already told you the problem. They still need to step up. Period. But it's just not Burks. I said it's everybody else, even Deuce. You said it. You said even Deuce is inconsistent.
No, I'll say what no one is saying. It's because we don't have a backup. All right,
we brought Burke back thinking he was him, but he wasn't him. That's all I was saying. We brought Burke here for that reason. He's not him. We need to figure it out, and I'd rather start with McBride.
Well, you didn't say it that way. You were saying it's Burks. He's supposed to do this. Because I'm trying to. Somebody in the chat put it up there. There's I don't remember. Somebody in the chat I was kind of reading said that they would rather we was going after a true backup instead of making the move to get Burks and Bogey. And I see what you're saying.
I think it's as simple as Jalen Brunson is in love with the Coco. Jalen Brunson is in love with the Coco, bro. Jalen Brunson is in love with that basketball, bro. Jalen Brunson is absolutely in love with that basketball, because even when they play him and Deuce together, that man has zero patience with Deuce trying to probe and trying to create shots for others, bro. He give Deuce one look. Deuce get that one. Hey, I'm in love with the Coco. You know what I'm saying? That's it, bro. And so when we say that, when I say that Jalen Brunson is in love with the Coco, bro, y'all see it, bro. There are times in the game where Jalen Brunson looks off everybody to probe to get his shot. Y'all see it. He's an aggressive scorer, right? He's an aggressive scorer at the point guard position, right? And he has to get into a mental mode, right? Like he has to get into a passing mode in order to pass the ball. Jalen Brunson is not one of those guys that is a dribble, pass, and shoot guy. Jalen Brunson is a dribble and shoot guy, right? Listen, he's not gonna be like, yo, if I drive right here, I know Dante cutting baseline. Nah, he's like, if I dribble right here, if that big man come out, I'm gonna either I'm gonna pull up with a jumper or a fadeaway, or I'm gonna hit my floater. He is not thinking about the other guys on the floor, right? And that's why when you get these situations where you like, well, I thought Burks was supposed to be that guy, man. I thought Deuce was supposed to be the guy. When Jalen Brunson gets blitzed and they force the ball out of his hands, what he does is he passes it to an outlet and comes right back and gets the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's in love with the Coco. He in love with it, bro. That's why
I'm not saying that he's not. All I'm saying is this is not one person to be pinging on. Because I'm gonna tell you this. This is one of the things. Like I said, I like Burks when he was on the squad. You know, we had him when he played in his role. You know, I always joke around, call him fourth quarter Jordan because like he comes to life
hated him, bro.
Yeah. You know,
Hoodie Cab hated him and Reggie Bullock, bro.
Well, you know, Reggie Bullock used to give me headaches too. But, you know, and then with Hoodie Kev, it wasn't Kevin Knox. It was nothing else, you know. But
that was the worst haircut team we ever had, bro.
Yeah.
When we had Reggie Bullock and Alfred Payton on the floor at the same time, that was the worst haircut team we ever had, bro.
Yeah, some boys and little cats' heads are like cats had been look like cats been licking on their heads.
Yeah,
man, I wanted to come down like somebody. I wanted to come down with a comb, 5 for them.
Right, you had to get a muscle comb. You couldn't come in there with no regular drugstore comb, bro. You had to come in there with a titanium comb, bro.
The pick with the fist on it. You got to make sure.
Yeah.
Now you had to use a yard rake for that head.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And Randall was out there looking like Bill Russell, like with the medium fro that ain't edged up. You like Randall?
Oh my God!
And half of his hair ain't combed.
Hey,
like he just woke up on that side.
Hey, but when he was coming at it with his head all knotty, he was ball. He played some hard ball. But what I was gonna say is the one thing,
Kodak Randall.
Yeah, you know, he coming in there looking like who did it, why, and for what? Bo Montgomery. My thing is with Burks, I was actually happy to see him go because it was saving Tibbs. Because Tibbs would put Burks out there in look, if he could, he put Burks in all 5 positions. You know, and I joke around. I call him fourth quarter Jordan because for some reason, Burke gets his game together in the fourth quarter. He plays better in the fourth quarter. He gives you 3 quarters of what the hell, and then in the fourth quarter, he comes to life. And he makes some good plays, makes some big shots or whatever else. So that's part of the problem. That was a problem. But, again, other cats got to step up as well. And you're right, Freezer. JB is in love with the Coco. He in love with the Coco, you know. But he's also making up for the points, trying to make up for the points we don't have with Randall being gone.
Yep, you know? That's why he's in love with the Coco.
He's in love.
Because he's like, Randall ain't here. OG ain't here. I got to do this. So in his mind, he's stepping up as the captain, playing the captain role when we trying to tell him, yo, rely on the other players. So it goes hand in hand. It's not just Brunson. It's everybody. If everyone did step up, Brunson wouldn't have to do this. So we're basically...
Thank you for making the point for me, because the way you were going for one person. I'm just trying to I was looking for you to say what I've been saying. It's not just Burks, it's team as a whole. Because again, he's trying to it's just like when Randall was solo here. And Randall had to do all that scoring. He's like, well, I ain't got nobody else scoring, nobody else. I got RJ. RJ can't. When RJ was there, RJ can hit an elephant in the ass with an ironing board. I gotta do what I gotta do. Hey, Grimes is a reluctant shooter. He won't even go to the free. He won't even get fouled to go to the free throw line. You know, let me go down here and dump it down to Mitch. Mitch get a dunk in or whatever. It was one of those. Now you have more offensive options.
Hey, so I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw Quentin Grimes throw an entry pass in the post to Taj Gibson,
mm-hmm.
and then you knew he was gone. In that moment, you knew that man was getting traded to the Ottawa Senators, bro.
Yeah,
He said
and
Ottawa.
look,
That man was
hey,
getting traded out to a different league altogether.
yeah, he was on his way to the Singapore Sea Slugs.
Yeah, that
So,
man was getting ready to get traded to the Cincinnati Reds, bro. As soon as he
and,
did that, bro, you like, why did you do a post entry pass to a guy that has only been on the floor? The dude has only been with the Knicks 10 minutes, and you doing a post entry pass in a zone
Taj.
defense so that he can go get a bucket.
Yeah, to Taj, you going to giving down to Granddad, and he had no ups, none. And then I looked at his stats. I looked at the box scores of the last game, that Friday night game they played in Detroit.
Right.
And it's the same crap, different toilet.
Right.
He's still putting the same offensive numbers, still doing the same. I was looking at it like, and he had more minutes. And he's still putting up the same numbers. So again, as I like to say, it's addition through subtraction.
Definitely. Hey, everybody, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta do some reading for a project. Man, I got like 10 pages left. I've been kind of scrolling through it throughout the conversation. But DJ Cash DJ Cash is somewhere around here. He tried to put a rock in my shoe, talking about bring one cat back slowly and then move the goalposts for all the injured players. Cash, you watching?
I would say this though. I would say this on that freeze because the injury, you can't treat everybody's injury as the same. You know, you're talking about shoulders, elbow, and the foot.
Right.
Shoulders, elbow, and the foot. And you do worry about chemistry, but a shoulder, elbow, and a foot. And with a big man like that, because I worry about Mitch, because I worry about Mitch, I think about Yao Ming.
I think you confusing us though, because once you are healthy, you don't have a shoulder. You don't have a shoulder, elbow, or foot. Once you're healthy NBA player.
Well, you maybe you're a healthy NBA player, but I'm saying you're looking at the injured shoulder, elbow, and foot. When I'm saying you put those in, because you say, well, why would you not put those? Why would you put them in and not put Mitch in right off? First of all, you're gonna get Mitch to get his win, and who's to say so if he doesn't start is how he finishes as well, right? And as it progresses, Mitch is gonna be the starter. He's gonna get that starting position back. I just don't. Our heart's not gonna hold it. I just way I see it.
I'm confused, bro. If you still hurt with the shoulder, then you're not gonna play anyway. But if you healthy, then play. If your shoulder is healthy, you no longer have a shoulder injury.
Well, my thing. So you're saying
elbow is healthy, you no longer have an elbow injury.
So you never seen. So you're saying because starters have never come off the bench or been eased in, or some starters have been put in. So you can't say it's like situation as per person, or it's just everybody that come in that never done that before in the league anywhere.
No, I know the starters are usually the starters because they're the better player.
No, that's true.
And why would you have the better player coming off the bench?
What happens sometimes is they put them on what is called, I think, Halliburton.
Oh, Cat's still here. That must have been
All-Star break. That they put them on a minutes restriction. You probably heard that term used, and that's what usually happens. They'll play, they'll start like you said, Freezy, but then they're put on minutes restriction, whatever that is prescribed by the team.
Yeah, but Cash, what I'm saying to you is this: if the player is healthy, like if they're nursing an injury and just trying to get back on the floor, that's one thing. Like if you're 70%, they'll put you on a minutes restriction so that you can slowly go from 70 to 75 to 80 to 85 to 90 all the way up, right? They'll put you on a minutes restriction. Even with pitchers, right? When pitchers come back from, say, Tommy John, right? They'll start out in the minors throwing an inning and then 2 innings and then 4 innings. And then after that, they'll start to let them rip, right? Let them cut it loose, right? Because the player is still injured. It's trying to come back. They're at like 75, 80% where they can do light work and light activities. What I'm saying is, if you are saying OG Anunoby is healthy and you want OG Anunoby to be in the starting lineup, and then say Mitch is healthy and you want Mitch to come off the bench, there's a clear double standard. clear. It's not even fake. It's not even hidden in the bushes. It's an obvious double standard. If you say Mitch is healthy, then why wouldn't Mitch come back and play Mitchell Robinson type minutes? It's not like Mitch was playing 35 minutes. They were splitting the minutes 28-20. It's not like Mitch is coming back playing 37 minutes. And at the same time, if you've been looking, Hartenstein hasn't been playing an exorbitant amount of minutes. Hartenstein has been playing somewhere in the range of 15 to 27 minutes. Right now, you're in those minutes that are gone. You're playing Jericho Sims and Precious Achua at the 5, and we've been losing. So why wouldn't you put a center in that spot?
Not saying not to put a center in the spot.
Well, I would say before Hartenstein's Achilles injury, he was playing roughly, I think it was 30. I don't know the exact amount of minutes, but it was roughly 35 plus minutes a game,
right,
before he injured his Achilles. And even the commentator, I think it might have been Mike Breen, was saying how, he's not accustomed to playing that many minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not accustomed to playing that many minutes, obviously, the wear and tear, your body is not used to that. And so, what happens is you're prone to an injury, and that's exactly what happened in the case of Hartenstein.
Right. So the alternative is bring Mitch off the bench and then play Precious Achua out of position as the backup to Hartenstein, who's nursing an Achilles injury.
Well, let me just say this about Precious, and I've heard this throughout this show, that I think, this is just my opinion, I'll probably get eaten up for it or whatever, I think Precious should back up Randall at the 4 and keep him out of the 5 and just rock with Hartenstein, whatever effort he can give, Mitch, and have Jericho do spot duty, Jericho Sims. And that will solidify the center position because I think Precious does better at the 4, and he can back up Randall.
Right.
And then then you have your Anunoby at 3, and that will keep Josh Hart from playing the 4. In other words, it will take some of the stress and the pressure off of these smaller guys that are guarding these bigger guys that we touched base on earlier.
And they're worn down, and they play back-to-backs. Josh Hart played 40 minutes the other night, and he's probably going to play 40 minutes tonight, and he's probably going to play 40 minutes tomorrow night.
And that's going to be key. And that's going to be the key when Randall and Anunoby come back, so that none of those smaller guys are going to have to be guarding bigger guys when Randall and Anunoby come back. Randall, Anunoby, and Mitch, you might as well say, come back. And so, that'll be a difference maker. And the point that, Soulfinger and Cowboy Bob was discussing as far as Brunson, that I was thinking too, I think Brunson's going to have to play smarter going into the rest of the season. And what I mean by that is, like when Randall comes back, we know that Randall's going to always command a double team. And so utilize him. Be a facilitator, be a decoy, and also be a delegator. And I think that way it'll take the pressure off of Brunson. I know he loved that Coco, as you mentioned, Freezy. But pick and choose your spot.
That basketball, bro.
In other words, yes. But be like Jordan. We've seen Jordan. Pick and choose your spots when you love that Coco. And in doing that, I think it'll be better, man. No, I mean in times of fourth quarter when the game is close, when you do that. Yeah, I know he Coco with, but sometimes you gotta pull up on that, man. But you gotta learn to pull up on that, man, because we need everybody. So pick and choose your spots. I mean, wait. I mean, if you want to wait till the third and fourth quarter, or do the second and fourth, however you choose to do it, but you know, let some other guys cook, because definitely Randall's gonna need to cook when he get back. You got to give him some time to cook, because really in the long run, when you think about it, that's gonna help take some pressure off of him. You know, because like I was saying before, you know, he can't get burnt out going into the stretch run here, man. He got to be ready for the playoffs. We got to start being farsighted and think ahead. You know, I mean, we need to win games too, but we also got to be farsighted and think ahead when it comes towards playoffs time.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I'm gonna get out of here so I can finish reading War and Peace.
Go New York, go New York, go.
And I'm legit like reading some stuff, man. And
shout out to the salespeople out there.
Shout out to all my salespeople, man. Whether you are on the phone, in the field, shout out to all you sales managers out there trying to rally the troops so that they can perform and meet these quotas out here. Shout out to everybody that do that. So and Cash, we don't eat each other up here, bro. We just discuss topics, bro. Ain't nobody, and y'all already, it ain't nothing personal, man. If we agreed all the time on everything, then Cowboy Bob's master plan would have worked.
Hey,
Stop telling them, man.
Let me just say this, not to be religious, but let me just say this, man. Iron sharpens iron, man, and that can only make us better, man. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion, because in the end, we all here for a reason, and that's it, man. I'm waiting for that parade, man. I want to see everybody at the parade, because I'm already going. Whether I got to call out or take vacation days, when that chip come in, man, and when they announce that parade, I'm there, man. I just hope it don't turn out nothing like Kansas City, man. That's my only thing after seeing that, man. They was wilding out there, man. In KC, hopefully nothing like that happened in New York, but that's what I'm looking at, man.
Nah,
I want to see everybody in New York, man.
We renting a condo uptown, bro, for Lawrence here. That we gonna celebrate all week, man. We gonna have, we gonna invite everybody.
You gotta have some food, man. Hey, you gotta have some food. Hey, man. Hey, you gotta have some food, man. You see me, I like to eat, man. We gotta have some food, man. And the food got to come correct. But if I know we in the city,
you hear that right, Corey? You hear that right?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, the food got to be correct. I mean, I know it's the city, man.
With the Jerusalem cruises.
I mean, I want soul food. I want some Caribbean food. I want it all, man. Give me some yuca. Give me some collard greens. Hey, bring it all, man.
But hey, Cash, Corey Lee gonna be out there on the grill, the Jerusalem cruiser, and some socks.
Yeah. As long as Karen is not making the potato salad, we're good. As long as Karen is not making the potato salad, we're good.
I need
bringing pasta salad.
I need something East African, bro. You got to have something Nigerian. Can we get something Nigerian?
We'll bring Bob.
I'm Jamaican, so you get Jamaican and Colombian, because I'm learning out here how to cook Colombian style. So yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, I'm gonna thank y'all for rocking. Everybody, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for all of y'all opinions and everything. And so we'll probably holler at y'all later on tonight. I got some stuff that I have to do tonight, man. So I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to fill in for me. So if we can get a fill in tonight, man, then we'll definitely be rocking. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Peace, everybody.
Salute. Take care. Salute, gentlemen.